Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today, I wanted to bring everyone a little update on ballot measure 114 in Oregon. That is the new gun control law that would do a lot of things. It would ban magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. It makes people seek permission from their local law enforcement before they can buy a gun. It takes away the safety measures that prevent the government from abusing the background check system. There's just a lot of things involved in this bill. The most egregious of which was the need to go to your sheriff or your local law enforcement and say, can I have permission to buy a gun? Can I have permission to exercise my Second Amendment rights? You know, beyond a background check. You had to go in and be pre-approved, like you're a good enough person, you can have your rights. Well, a lot of us knew that there's no way they were going to have the permitting process in place before the deadline of December 8th when it was going to go into effect. There was just no way. There's no funding for it. There's no infrastructure for it. There's not even a plan on how to do it. So it wasn't going to go into effect in any way that would actually work. As of December 8th, if it actually became law, no one would be able to buy a gun in the state of Oregon, period. Which is what they want. They really want that to happen, even if it's just for a few weeks of confusion where nobody can buy a gun. They're hoping that'll drive a lot of gun manufacturers and a lot of gun shops out of business, and they've done the damage even if the law gets overturned. Well, it was in court determining whether it could go into effect December 8th or not. And it got kind of a mixed ruling. Now, before people start screaming about the biases of the judge, remember, this was a Trump-appointed judge, which just tells me don't trust the judgment of most any judge that is politically appointed and not elected by the people, because they tend to do whatever they want to do. But here's what they said. This judge determined that no, the parts about the permit being pre-permitted, you have to get a card from your local law enforcement that says, I'm legal to buy a gun before you could even buy one. That is not going to go in effect. There is a 30-day stay on that. Now, as far as the other things, making it to where if the government decides they're just going to sit on your background check and not do it, you could pick your gun up after 3 days. That was always a safety precaution there. It was to prevent the government from abusing their power. That's going to go into effect, and the magazine limit restrictions are going to go into effect. Now, these are not going to be horrible things until we can get them to fall, because they are going to fall. There's already other cases in other courts where these have been sent back to the lower courts by higher courts because of the Bruin decision saying you ruled wrong, these can't stand under the Bruin decision. So, and I think this judge used that as an excuse to not weigh in on the magazines and et cetera, because there's already lawsuits filed in Oregon that are working their way through the courts. There's lawsuits in other states that deal with the exact same issue. So I don't think she wanted to put her fingers into that. I think she was feeling like she might seem biased, but made her be biased in the other direction, in my opinion. But they did put a stay on the process of having to get a permit to buy a gun, because like I said, there's no funding for this system. There's no education in place for this system. There's no money to hire manpower, so they don't have the manpower to do this. And there's no plan on how to do it. So is it even going to be implemented in 30 days? It's unlikely. It's unlikely that it'll be implemented in any way that will actually work. So I think we're going to be back to this again in probably 25 more days when they're like, well, we still don't have anything in place that will pass scrutiny. What I'm thinking is they'll try to slap something in place really quickly. The law will go into effect in 30 days, and then you will see a rash of lawsuits from people who can't get their permit to buy guns. They're being denied their Second Amendment rights. That'll end up going to court. The whole thing will go away. You got to remember, this entire measure passed with a vote of 50.7%. Not even 51% of the people voted for this. And in my opinion, when you're passing a law that restricts the rights of others, if you don't get 60%, it shouldn't even pass. The ballot measure system is being completely abused by people with lots of money and lots of power, because you can't even get anything into the ballot system process unless you're backed by a lot of money, because it takes that much money to hire people to go out and get signatures who lie about what you're signing for, etc. So this system itself is broken, but The judge, like I said, who was overseeing it, has determined that the magazine stuff can go into effect. The extended background check stuff can go into effect. Now, I am unsure about one aspect of the law that states that law enforcement can deny someone a right to buy their guns if they feel that they are not of just, moral stature or something like that. I forget how it's worded. That's clearly a gross violation of the law. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says your rights shall not be infringed unless, some sheriff thinks you're a jerk. It doesn't make sense to me. But as of right now, like I said, the permit process, which is, I think, the worst and most egregious part of the law, has been blocked for 30 days. Problem isn't solved. It's just pushed off for 30 more days. And like I said, I don't think they'll get anything together of any merit in 30 days. And then once it goes into effect, if it goes into effect in 30 days, we'll be right back to where we started, and we'll have people suing for having their rights actually denied to them. So as of December 8th, magazines are going to be the big issue. It's going to make it hard for gun manufacturers and gun dealers especially to move products, since they can't sell anything with a standard capacity magazine, or high capacity as they call it. We call it standard capacity because most guns hold more than 10 plus 1 rounds. So only one message I would have to people out there is, if you had a gun you were thinking of buying and you're not going to buy it now because, well, if I buy it now, I've got to get it with a 10 round magazine. Go ahead and do it. Buy it now. Help support your local gun shops. Luckily, they've had a lot of sales over the last couple of weeks, because the one thing this bill did do is triple the number of guns being sold in Oregon. So really did a boost to the gun economy over there. And then if it falls before it really causes any harm, it'll be probably a plus positive effect overall. But we need to get the law taken down before it becomes a negative effect. But if you're going to buy something, still buy it. You can always buy another magazine later. Maybe dealers will set up a system where, if you bring back your 10-round magazines, they'll give you a 15-round magazine or whatever. I would love to work with any dealers out there that want to do something like that. I will throw my weight and do whatever I can, to help do that. I'll throw my weight behind it, so to speak. And that's, I'm 218 pounds. That's quite a bit of weight. So go still buy. Or if you don't want to buy something that has a magazine less than what it should have, buy a revolver. It's a good reason to buy a revolver. But still, support your local shops. Make sure you're going in there and buying ammo, accessories, etc. Because local shops need help now in Oregon. Don't be buying off the internet. That doesn't help your local shops as much. Go buy local if you at all can. Like I said, we'll worry about magazines later, but for right now, buy if you can. I'm not saying panic buy. It's just, if it was something you already wanted, don't prevent yourself from getting it because you're going to be 5 rounds short. Like I said, that can be changed later by getting another mag. So right there, that's where we're standing. It's not going to go into effect as far as the permit process as of the 8th, but everything else will. But we can live with that until it falls, and it is going to fall in the courts. There's just no way this stuff's going to stand. So keep your chin up and keep hope in your heart, I guess we should say. I start to sound like an evangelical preacher here. But we will win in the end, but there's going to be some rough patches between there now and then. And this is where we stand now. So like I said, be prepared for the fight to come. Be prepared to see what happens in 30 days. And don't stop yourself from buying something just because it's a few rounds short. Like I said, a new magazine in a month or 2 can solve that problem. All right, everybody, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you join us for our live chat tonight. We do live chats every night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, except for Monday and Wednesday when they're at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So come on over to the live chat, join in on the conversation. We did the friend drawing last night, and we're going to be having a drawing for the people who donated to Toy Guns for Tots very soon. I'll probably announce tonight what day it's going to be. I'm trying to get the list together now. But come on over to the live chat, join in the conversation, and have some fun. You can ask me anything you want to. You can hear my opinion on any topic you want. Doesn't even have to be gun related. I don't hide behind my channel. I'm very accessible, and I want you people to know where I'm coming from. So I am very honest with you. So come on over. Like I said, enjoy the show, enjoy the chat. Until then, I just want to remind everyone out there to always carry and stay safe until I see you again. judges are dumbasses. But that's not what I wanted to say at all. That was permitting process will not. Can I say this in any less effective way?